you know, and then the decision was made for her to seek care. And then how will she get to the point of care? That's second phase. So the first phase is the decision making. There's an incident and there is decision to be made. Someone was beaten. Decisions are being made. You know, delay in seeking care can arise from that decision making in the first instance. Snake bite is a medical emergency. What does an emergency mean? Emergency means that there is a life-threatening situation. There's a situation that is life-threatening and the person needs immediate medical attention. That is emergency. So if snake bite is an emergency, it's a medical emergency, there should not be any delay in making up one's mind, in making that decision to seek care. There should not be any delay. And this is where we have to look at something. We've seen it in videos. We watch it in videos and see it in news. Somebody has an incident at home in other countries where things are better organized, and the person calls 911, calls an emergency line, and there's somebody on the other end of the emergency line who will ask what the problem is and who would advise what the person should do, and who will call for emergency ambulance, emergency services to go to where that person is. And while the emergency services are on their way, the person on the other line who knows his or her job will be telling the person at home, don't panic, explain the hand, immobilize the hand, don't move around, stay away from the thing that has beaten you. That kind of service, do we have it in Nigeria? Is there any place in Nigeria that there's an emergency, a medical emergency, and you call a hotline, not just to report and the person say what's the address and all that? No, you call somebody, and on the other end there is somebody who is trained to respond, to give professional advice, to give sound advice on what should be done while waiting for emergency services to arrive. Do we have that? Can somebody have an incident in the capital of Nigeria, Abuja? Somebody has an emergency. Is there a hotline you can call to report? Is there somebody on the other side of the hotline that would respond and give you good advice on what to do while waiting for emergency services to arrive? Is there anything like that? I don't think so. And that is one of the issues. We have problem in emergencies. When there's an emergency on the road, like Anthony Joshua, the vehicle he was traveling in with two of his friends and training staff got into an accident. And we saw a police vehicle being used to take Anthony Joshua to the hospital. There was no ambulance. When there is an incident on the road, who do you call? Who responds? What kind of services can they provide? What kind of advice can they give until those emergency services arrive? So that's one thing. How is emergency care in Nigeria when Junior Pope, Nollywood actor, drowned in the river close to Asaba, the capital city of oil-rich Delta State? An incident took place. Somebody drowned. Are there emergency services that can be called? Are there emergency services in the river? People monitoring the river. People first ensuring that boats that are plying that river are licensed, that the people driving the boats are licensed, that there are life jackets that they wear. And when there is an emergency, a boat capsizes, there are people who have their boats, or trained people who have boats, who can quickly go to the area and rescue those who are drowning and provide emergency care. What kind of emergency care do we have when an incident occurs at home to a talented vocalist who was bitten by snake? What kind of emergency service do we have when an actor drowns in the river close to the capital city of a rich state? What kind of emergency services did we have when Anthony Joshua had an incident in the road? What kind of emergency services was provided? So that's one. At the point of the incident, decisions are being made. What influences the decision being made? Are there those that can be called so that good actions can be taken, so that good advice can be received? Because if there are no good advice, people will, what's the word? People will do what comes to them and what comes to their mind, and some of the things they do will not be for the good of the person.